which is actually, I've just noticed, celebrating. Sorry, it'll be back to front, but let me just change the view. Oh, you can't see that, but it's a placemat or a little coaster that says 100 years. So since 1925, so it's one of Saigon's most historic and not the oldest, but one of the oldest hotels in Saigon. I think Hotel Continental, which I featured in a live stream a couple of weeks ago, is the oldest. I can't really remember what year that was built, so if you... Oops, I just cut out, sorry about that. Thanks for joining me. This is my regular live stream that I do every Sunday around about this time from Ho Chi Minh City here in Vietnam, and my name's Matt and my channel is about my life in Vietnam. So as I mentioned in the video description, make sure that if you've got any questions or any comments about Vietnam, let me know. I've been living here for 15 years, so I guess you could say I'm a little bit over the content and things happening here, so I should across it. I should say, not over it. I'm not sick of it. I'm across a lot of the issues and travel ideas and whatever you can do here in Saigon. So if you've got any questions, make sure you leave them in the description, or if you're watching this after the live, there'll be the comment section, of course, below. So leave a comment there or a question and I'll definitely get back to you. But check out this view, hey. Sorry, there's a rail there, but what I'll do is I'll get up and just give you a quick look of the view that I've got today for the live. Yeah, this is the new bridge in the sort of the foreground of the big building there. This, I don't know if you can see that, but that bridge was only opened, I think it was opened last year, but I think newly opened the year before last. So what was that, 2023, I think? And that goes across to the area that's called Du Dim over here. Behind the bridge there is Landmark 81. It's like, I don't know, something like the tallest residential building at least in Southeast Asia, and it goes about 500 meters up into the sky there. It's pretty huge. Got a really cool bar up there on whatever floor it is. It's called Landmark 81, so 81 floors, and there's a really nice bar up there that I sat up there with a friend about this time last year, and it was actually really good. A good spot to check out the city, and you tend to overlook the northern part of the city, so you can see the airport and the aeroplanes coming in there. So as you can see, that place has developed incredibly over the past few years. And just to the left, sorry, I'm going to use my finger again, hopefully I don't block out the view. There we go, there's my finger. Anyone who's been in Saigon for a long time or who's familiar with Saigon, that sort of little block of buildings is Saigon Pearl, and that used to be like the biggest or the tallest residential buildings in that area over there, and as you can see now, it's dwarfed by the Vin Homes project there. And then just panning to the right here, I can't think of the name of that particular block there, but I think it's a hotel plus residential area as well. And not that long ago, this building, again, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but this building just here, the project's been revitalized. It's actually going to be an opera house, and it sat there not even half finished. It was a shell for a long time, and I've noticed that in the media they've said that they're going to get back into doing that place up, so that'll be interesting to see. And then as we move further around, you'll see a church here, just there. This church amazingly has survived all of the development that's happened over the past decade or so, and I believe that they were very persistent and very strong in making sure that that church complex there survived all of the development, even though there's a lot going on around it. It's one of the oldest churches in Saigon, very historic, and it's worth going to have a little bit of a look if you can go there. Years ago, when I was working for an English language magazine here, I did a story on that church, and I've just got my finger there, I don't know, somewhere around here. I don't know if it still exists, but I was going to say the nurses, not the nurses, the nuns there, they had a dairy farm. So there was a shed there with, I don't know, about 10 dairy cows, and each morning they used to milk the cows and collect the milk and make cream out of it and stuff like that. I don't know if they sold it, but it was a really interesting story because I don't know if it's there. It would be interesting to find out, but I don't know if my camera shows you, but look at all that development out in the background there on the horizon. That's all relatively new. This, where is it? This one here, that's called, or that's in the area of Sala over there, and there's quite a substantial, what do you call it, location with a lot of apartments and businesses over there now. And actually that's where I go to swim sometimes as well. They've got a 50-metre pool there, which is kind of good. But this is all sort of heading out in the direction, apologies for wobbling the camera, but in this direction is District 2, or Tuduk City as they call it now. And in the foreground just here, this is, you can see the ferry terminal there that takes you to Vung Tau. You can buy your tickets there, and Condau now apparently you can go, I think, directly from Saigon to Condau, I think. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, I should check that out. I'll have a look when I get home. I'll have a look to see if you can actually catch ferries or boats from here to get to Condau. Maybe someone in the chat will know. But yeah, downtown Saigon on a Sunday morning at about 11:30. As you can see, it's, I don't know if it's smog or fog. I suspect, especially out in this direction here, I suspect there's a fair bit of fog there. Sorry, smog. It looks a little bit blue, doesn't it? So there you go. And let me just turn around a bit. There's Mel. We're going to have lunch in a minute. We're going to order some lunch. And this is the 5th floor. Hopefully the aircon here is not ruining the audio, but this is the 5th floor restaurant that's open for lunch, and there's a little sort of spot up there where you can go and check it out. Maybe I'll go up there later. And of course, the Majestic has a famous rooftop bar. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream, this hotel is 100 years old this year. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And this is their restaurant just here, which is actually really lovely looking. Plenty of old world charm. Alright, so there you go. I might get up a little bit later in the live stream and walk around a little bit so you can see if you're interested in this location. And we're going to order some lunch. Mel, definitely smog, but great view. Yeah, there's quite a lot of smog. This year's weather has been a little bit funny. We've even had a bit of rain last week and the week before, which is really odd for this time of year in Saigon. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's climate change or just some kind of odd weather system, but Yeah, we've had some substantial rain overnight, which is kind of really weird, especially given that it's a dry season at the moment. Just having a Coke. Okay, so yeah, we're going to order some lunch. I was going to show you the menu here. Oh, the menu here, but it might be a bit too glary for you to see. But I think we're going to try out the burger. I don't know if you can see. No, not really, can you? I'm not sure how much it is. It's about 200, is it? 300. It's about 300,000 for the burger. I don't know what you get. So anyway, it'll come along in a moment and I'll show you what it's like. We'll do a bit of a taste test. Hi, Sue. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Swazo? Demata. Hello, how are you? How are you today? Thanks for joining me. Let me know where you're coming from. We're just ordering a burger as I speak. Yeah, we just share. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty good today. I'm really good. Today's a Sunday morning and Saigon's pretty good today. The weather is okay, although it's a little bit smoggy. So yeah, where are you watching from? Am I pronouncing your name right? Swazo? Is that right? Sorry, I don't speak Spanish. I'm assuming it's a Spanish name or it could be Portuguese. I'm not sure. Let me know. And let me know if you've been to Saigon before. And also feel free to ask some questions about Saigon or Vietnam if you're thinking about coming here. So this week was a pretty busy week for me. I uploaded a new video just yesterday. I was working a lot. Okay, yeah, Spanish. I'm 11. You're 11 years old. Oh my God, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Yeah, 11 years old. I can't even think back to 11 years old when I was 11. Yeah, but thanks for joining. Yeah, so as I was saying, it was a fairly busy week for me. This week I uploaded a new video and it was about the myths and stereotypes that you come across in Vietnam, and so I make an effort to debunk those myths and stereotypes just in case you're interested in finding out a little bit more about Vietnamese history and culture, gleaned from 15 years of lived experience in Vietnam. I've had a few comments on it already, and some of those comments were from people who have actually lived here longer than me, so they had some interesting inputs, so to speak. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, go and check that video out today or tomorrow, and make sure you comment and share it with friends if you think it's worthy of it. I've got Mel, my wife, here. She's helping me with a few conversation topics. Oh yeah, okay, this is a really good one. So this year, it's a big year for Vietnam coming up, especially in April 30 will be 50 years since, well, technically the official end of the war. So I haven't seen a lot of things advertised yet, like for events and stuff like that, but it'll be interesting, and I guess things will be ramping up pretty soon to celebrate and to recognize Vietnam's independence. 50 years, pretty crazy, hey? Oh, I think our burger is coming soon. Yeah. Oh, and Mel's just told me that there's a big sculpture, a topiary, on Nguyen Hue Street, which is nearby here. It's the centre of town, and I don't know, what's it of? Yeah, just recognising that 50 years is upon us since the end of the war. It's amazing. Swazo, yes, I'm Australian. Yes, yeah, I'm Australian, and I've been living in Saigon for 15 years. Some people say that my accent isn't that Australian. I don't know about that. I think when you compare it, if I'm talking to someone and you compare it, you'll notice it. We tend to finish sentences with an upward inflection. I think that's what separates us a lot. Oh, do you know Josh Dubb? No, I don't think so. Who's that? There's quite a few Australians here, so yeah, I don't know every Australian here at all. I know a few though, over the years. Over the years they've come and gone. Yeah. So yeah, now we're just waiting for our burger to come along. But hopefully I won't be too messy when I eat that. This live stream might turn into a messy kind of affair. I don't usually put too much emphasis on my food videos, although I've got quite a few food videos on my channel. They're a lot of work. They're a lot of work in Saigon. Saigon's very noisy, and it takes a lot of setting up to do food videos. And there's already a lot of guys doing food anyway, so and they do a really good job of it. So it's hard to be competitive in the food space in Vietnam on YouTube. But yeah, I'll probably do a few more coming up. Okay, it's really good. I've got Mel today sending me some little topics to talk about. Swazo, he's Australian, to search up the boys and you will know. Okay, yeah. Just checking if I will be posting this. Dimitar, just checking if my message will be posted. I'm suspect I'm banned. Not too sure what you mean, Dimitar, but I can see your message, so that's okay. Yep. Swazo, yeah, I don't, these days I don't spend a lot of time mixing with the expat community, but I think just through the course of being here, you sort of come and go, and you know, I may go to the Australian Chamber of Commerce event coming up next month. They have one every month, and it's not a bad way to touch base with fellow Aussies and Vietnamese who have an interest in Australia. So I might mosey on along to that. Let me just give you another view. Okay, Dimitar, got it. Yep. Thanks, Mel. Keep it class. I don't know if you have to keep it classy, but just be polite, I guess, and ask questions. This is my view. Unfortunately, the railing is cutting off the view a bit. Maybe I can lower that for you. But there we go. We still have plenty of cargo boats that come along the Saigon River here, and the tide is heading back out to the sea. So the Saigon River is tidal. We're not that far from the ocean, and it obviously goes up and down with the tide, and this cargo boat here is heading down in the direction of the Saigon port. And yeah, it's not that long after the Lunar New Year, so the moon has been full, and we've had some pretty massive tides and river levels over the last week or so. But that boat is heading probably to the Saigon port. Not too sure where it's coming from. Maybe from factories upstream somewhere. Yeah, I'll you know, if I hear about, who was it? Josh, was it? I can't remember his name. I'll mention it. So yeah, as you can see, pretty nice day in Saigon. As I keep saying, make sure you feel free to ask some questions about life here in Saigon. After all, my channel is called Matt's Vietnam Life. I should get that right, shouldn't I? I was going to say Matt's Life in Vietnam. as far as trips go, I don't really have anything planned too much at the moment, but I'm pretty keen to do something maybe in April before the rainy season comes. I can't believe that we're talking about the rainy season already. I guess we're middle of February. Typically it comes around about May. So I wouldn't mind getting down to the Mekong Delta before the rains hit. If you've seen stuff on my channel, you'll know that I don't mind getting around on the motorbike and heading down to the Mekong and stuff like that. And I'm pretty keen later on in the year to, if I can, time permitting, get up to Ha Yang to do it up there. So maybe Ha Yang, Sapa, all those places. Do a motorbike trip up there. Dimitar, how is the new metro line doing? I think it was 2 weeks ago that we tried out the metro for the first time, and it was excellent. I love it. I can see the benefit that it's going to bring the city already. It's just a shame we don't have more lines. So obviously there's a lot of plans for a bigger network in the coming years, but okay, so Mel's just written down here there's 14 lines planned. Is that right?
We have 14 lines now.
No, stops.
Yeah.
Ah, stops. 14. There are 14 stops on the first line. Yeah, and it took us about 30 minutes or so. So what happens is it goes from Bentan Market, and then it goes past Dimitar. I know that you're familiar with Saigon. It goes past Tao Dien, and then it heads out to Soi Dien, what do you call it? Fun Park? Water Park, or whatever it is. And it takes about 30 minutes or so. But it was excellent. There's a few stations underground, and then once you get to Ba Son, I think it starts to go above ground. Yeah. But when we tried it out, the ticket machine wasn't working. So it wasn't much of a fuss because we were doing it for fun and we weren't going for work or anything like that. But I think people who live in Tao Dien or people who live in District 1 and want to go out to Tao Dien, Swang Tui Street and stuff like that for a drink or restaurant or something like that, it's going to be awesome for that. Because the station is not too far from Swang Tui Street. So, but yeah, the stations are all accessible for all types of people. There's braille. It smells new. Obviously, it is new, but actually smelled new. So it was good to go on a metro that smells new and clean and new. Yeah. So. Thanks, Swazo. Yeah, the glasses are pretty good. I need them for up here. It's pretty glary. But yeah, Dimitar, it's a real bonus, I think, for Saigon to have that. And I've got a feeling that, if they can get the other lines up and running, in my lifetime, Saigon will be really accessible and it'll be just a great way to get around. At the moment, the traffic's still crazy though, especially from District 7 where we live. Yeah, so we came out Friday night, I think. Last Friday night we came into town for dinner, and around about 5:30 the traffic was just as usual, crazy, go through District 4 and out to District 7. Swazo, every Australian is so crazy when it depends on what they are doing. Yeah, I don't know about that. Don't know. This Australian I don't think is very crazy these days. I take it pretty easy. My usual day is maybe getting on the motorbike and going around town and meeting people and having something to eat and working on my videos. So yeah, that's really my days these days. Let me just take a drink. So yeah, for anyone who's just come onto the live stream, I'm doing this from the Majestic Hotel in Saigon. And this is the view from my lunch table. Not sure how much of that you can see, but let me just bring the camera down a little bit. Unfortunately, that bar is there, which is just right in the wrong spot, but
Safety bar.
yeah, at least there is a bar. It looks pretty safe. But this hotel, the Majestic, it's celebrating its 100th year, which is pretty cool. One of the most historic hotels in all of Saigon. Swazo, I know a lot of Australians that ride motorcycles over water and dangerous things. Jet skis? Maybe you're talking about jet skis? Is that it? Yeah. Australians have a long history of outdoor activities, so you know, we're pretty adventurous generally. And I grew up on a farm, so from a very young age, I learned how to ride motorbikes and drive tractors and cars. I think I could drive a car before I was tall enough to put my feet on the floor. So yeah, that aspect of my life has never left me, and yeah, I always look forward to getting out on the motorbike in Saigon's traffic or exploring Vietnam. So it's just a great way to feel a part of the community here. Okay, yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. Someone mentioned motorbikes the other day and licensing. It's a little bit tricky. The rules are changing all the time. But if anyone watching this is coming to Vietnam and thinking about doing a motorbike trip and renting motorbikes and stuff like that, you can hit me up in the comments section and I'll try my best to answer your questions. Dimitar, I heard monthly metro passes are... Oh, our burger's here. I heard monthly metro passes are around 300. Might be worth it to avoid the lines at the ticket counter. Yeah, apparently they're about that. You can get a monthly ticket. I'm not sure if you can actually purchase them yet. I'm not too sure. But look, 300,000 to ride the metro for a month, that's crazy good. Well, that's less than $15 US. So, you know, I mean, obviously there's the financial benefits, but as you mentioned, Dimitar, the safety savings, I guess you could say as well. You know, the last thing you want to do is come off and end up in hospital. So yeah. Swazo, do you see bikers where you live? Well, do you mean bikers as in bikies, like motorbike gangs? Like, what are they called in Australia?
Sons of Anarchy, kind of.
No, they're called OMCs? Is that what they're called? But I live in Saigon. This city has about 10 million people who live here, and just about every person has a motorbike. So you're talking, you might be, I don't know, give or take, who knows, maybe 8 million motorbikes or something like that in Saigon. So most people are not like biker gangs. Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. You can eat, Mel, or... Oh, we'll show in a minute. In terms of big motorbikes, like, when I say big motorbikes, for reference, I'm talking over 150 cc's. So it's only been in the past less than 10 years that you've been able to buy motorbikes over, I think it was 150 cc's. When I first came here, you couldn't get motorbikes, above 150 cc's, but they changed the law, and now you can get Harleys, you can get all the big international brands and stuff like that. But as far as I'm aware, there's no existence of biker gangs per se. But you know, everyone has a motorbike. Each household has some kind of motorbike. Dimitar, thanks. Enjoy your burger. See you on the metro. Yeah, cheers. Thanks for watching. Actually, speaking of burger, I'm just going to show you guys. Let me bring it down here. I don't know. I need to get into the light. So that looks pretty good, doesn't it? There we go. Burger and chips. I don't know what my doctor will say about that, but too bad. That's what I'm going to have for Sunday lunch today. Looks pretty good. I think it's about 300,000 dong. Probably a little bit above average price for a burger of this size in Saigon. But let's see how it goes. Swazo, my wife, I think she went to wash her hands because she's going to eat half of my burger. But you were asking about motorbikes. You should be able to see the motorbikes going past there on the road. That's actually fairly quiet for what's compared to what's normal. Today's a Sunday, of course, Sunday morning. But on a work day, that is absolutely packed down there with motorbikes. But as you can see with the buildings, you know, a mix of sort of colonial era, post-war, and also modern. This hotel here is a colonial era building, built by a man, I believe, with Chinese heritage at the time, but was a wealthy businessman, obviously. It's actually really nice. I'm going to rediscover a lot of these historic places in Saigon this year, especially given that it's a bit of a historic year for Saigon, given that it's 50 years since the end of the war. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my wife to come back so she can cut it in half and we can get stuck into it. Hopefully it's good. But pretty quiet in here today. We're the only guests at the moment, so maybe we're a little bit early. And given that this hotel caters for international tourists, probably a lot of them are out on their tours and stuff like that. The Mekong Delta is not far away. You can do a day trip down into the Mekong Delta from here. So probably a lot of people staying in this hotel will be doing their day trip to the Delta or something like that, or maybe to the tunnels, to the Gucci tunnels. Yeah, Swazo smells good too, actually. Yeah, it smells pretty good, but I hope she comes back soon. Let me try the chips. Decent sized chips. Look at that. Not too bad. I mean, chips are always good, aren't they? Ah, here she is. Mel, can you cut it in half?
Yeah.
The tomato sauce is a bit sour. Maybe
Is it a chili sauce or?
Maybe it's not the original Heinz. Oh, it looks pretty big. This is going to be messy. It's going to be messy.
Whoa. I'm glad we're just sharing.
I'm starting to question whether it's a good idea to eat this burger live. I don't know. I don't know if people really want to see that. They're sort of, yeah, they're French fries. But, you know, chips. What is it? Tomato. Do the Spanish have Spanish fries? Hey, what did the Spanish create in the fast food? Oh, churros, maybe.
Taco Bell?
Yeah. Maybe churros is a Spanish thing, which is great. I love those things. They're like a donut, aren't they? All right, well, I'm going to do my first burger taste test live. Apologies for the messy footage in advance. I don't need these. Are you going to have yours, Mel?
We don't normally eat Western food all the time. It's just that here.
That's a good point. Mel just said we don't really. I mean, Mel's Filipino, so she cooks a lot of Filipino food. So having a burger is not necessarily a regular thing that we do. It's just that it's a bit more convenient today to do this.
Plus, this is more expensive than our normal,
Yeah. Yeah, any sort of Western food will be quite a bit more expensive, a bit pricier. I need to wipe my... Thanks, Mel. I've been touching stuff, so... I'm going to be live for about another 20 minutes. I usually do it for about an hour. So every Sunday, around about this time, for an hour. I mean, if more people come online and start asking questions, my plan, I'll stay longer, but my plan this year is to give my channel a go, to give my channel a chance to breathe a little bit and to grow a little bit. So part of the plan was to do at least one live video each week. And it's also a good way to answer people's questions in real time. So yeah, I'm fairly new to the live streaming thing, but it's quite good. It's okay, I don't mind doing it. Don't mind answering people's questions, so yeah. All right. Maybe it becomes Sunday live. There we go, just to give you an idea of the size. That's my head. I actually have a big head. And so the burger's quite big.
Half.
Yeah, that's half a burger, actually. Yeah. So pretty good, pretty solid.
They actually have pickles.
I want to put tomato in mine.
This is very...
Little pickles. So here we go. I'm gonna give this a go. Let's see. This could go everywhere. Not bad. A little bit dry. That would be my first review about it.
Well, we didn't really request it to be medium. So.
Yeah, we didn't actually request that, did we? We probably should have.
That's our
yeah,
fault.
a little bit dry. But that's okay. It's going to hit the spot.
Are you going to be one of those IRL people where like everything is like, this is what I'm eating, I'm talking to a waiter?
Swazo, I hope your dad doesn't see your comments there. He just said my dad's head is shaped like a peanut. Okay, so that's not too bad. I mean, you know, and it's a great view. I'll just give you a view of the river rather than watching me eat for now. One of the many boats going down there. I don't know if you can see on the screen, but there's a lot of
Soil.
greenery Yeah, a lot of weeds floating down the river. That's very common here.
But what's on the boat? Is the green.
I don't know what that boat is. Might be a sand boat. So Swazo, do you follow the tennis? There's a lot of good Spanish tennis players about. And what is it about Spain and tennis players? Why do you produce so many good tennis players? I don't know. Okay.
Where's Dimitri from? Where's Dimitar from?
I think he's based in Saigon, I think, or Vietnam.
How would you rate the burger? Better than McDonald's.
It filled a hole. It's filling a hole. Yeah. It's not bad, actually. It's tasty. I just think it's overcooked. That's all. But we should have told them not to cook it so well. I didn't think about that. But I've got food all over me. But it's tender and it's got flavour, which is great. So, and it seems fairly fresh, like the salad's fresh. The bun's nice as well, actually. I forgot to mention the bun. The bun's good.
You need ice on the soda. It's a bit hot.
Creed? Is it? Hi Creed, how's life up there?
Down here.
Do you mean up here in the hotel, on the hotel restaurant roof? Pretty good. Where are you coming from? But life's pretty good at the moment. Weather's pretty good. A little bit smoggy, as I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream. And a little bit more humid. This time of year, generally, sort of Christmas, January, February, it's the cooler time of the year down here in Saigon. So, you know, you can get things, you can go outside and just ride around and do stuff without sweating. But I've noticed just in the last couple of days or so that the humidity's picked up a bit. So I'm starting to sweat a little bit here, but it could be the burger as well.
Tips for tourists coming here at this time, but also crossing the street. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's worth it. I think I would have it again. I would come back again, especially for the view. You know, this is the thing about Western food in Saigon at the moment. You can't come to places and expect that you're going to get that sort of, I don't know, taste from home. You know, sometimes the ingredients just aren't available, or it bumps the prices up too much, you know. Creed, does it cost a lot to live in Vietnam? That's a good question. I think I covered that in one of my previous videos. If you have a look at my most recent videos, I think I cover how much living expenses are in Vietnam. But to give you a little bit of an idea, so you probably want to know what rent is like. Well, these days there are a lot of options, and it's really, I think it's fair to say that it's a renter's paradise at the moment in Saigon, because there's quite a large supply of apartments. Just to give you an idea, our apartment is 84 square meters. I don't know if that means anything to you. Sorry, I go by the metric system, so I can't tell you how many feet that is or whatever, but it's 2 bedrooms. It's kind of like 1.5 bathrooms, but effectively it's still a bathroom. There's a toilet and a shower. A living room, a smallish kitchen that's not really adequate, but we get by with it. Excuse me. And we pay $600 a month for that, so that's pretty good. What are some of the other things? Internet is cheap. I think we pay... Sorry, I'm trying to do the conversions from Vietnam dong into US dollars, so I'm not really sure what the conversion is at the moment, but the Wi-Fi in our house, the internet in our house is less than $50 a month. My phone, internet, I guess you call it, Wi-Fi and all that sort of thing, is about... Oh, now I'm under pressure that I can't think of. We paid the bill the other day. Less than $10 a month. Our services, our management and stuff like that for our apartment is less than $50 a month. So things like electricity, management of the place, water, internet, garbage. We have people who clean the place, clean the, what do you call it, the complex. They're really, it's really well priced. It makes it quite affordable. You know, I have a motorbike, so I get around on a motorbike, and I don't spend, you know, I might spend $5 a week on fuel, maybe. Let me just finish this.
Swanza wants to know what's your favorite animal. You just ate it.
My favorite animal would probably have to be a dog, I think. I love dogs.
Oh, because you hate cats.
No, I don't hate cats. No.
Do you want to dispel that?
People think I don't like cats and dogs and pets and stuff. That's not true. It's probably the owners that I dislike more than that. You know, people who don't train their dogs properly or their cats or whatever. You know, but
Are dogs racist?
I grew up on a dairy farm, so I was surrounded by animals for 20 years of my life, you know. So, you know, I love animals. Creed, does US Visa card work in Vietnam? Yes. Yep. Yeah, if you're traveling and, you know, yep. By all reports that you can just use your credit cards from home. It might be best for you to check Facebook travel pages as well to keep up to date with what's happening in terms of cash, sorry, not cash, but payments in Vietnam. But yeah, the banking, all that sort of online banking and stuff like that is quite good. Yep. So you can come to a restaurant like this and just use your credit card. I don't know what the fees are. I guess it depends on your bank and what sort of setup you have. It's easy enough to change money as well. There are still, what do you call them? Money exchange places in mostly around District 1 where tourists are here. So, you know, you can bring, if you're coming from the States, or anywhere actually, you can bring a sizable amount of US dollars if you like and then get it changed here as you need to. Yeah, you're right, Swazo, yep, dogs are, yep. Even though they are still eaten in Vietnam. They are still eaten.
No, that's...
They are.
No.
What?
Okay, you gotta use this line to like dispel that, right?
No, but what I'm saying is the fact is that they are still eaten. There are still dog and cat restaurants here.
Okay.
They're few and far between, but they're trying to eradicate that. They're trying to get rid of that eventually. Mel had a go at me for saying that, but it's true. In fact, there's a dog restaurant not too far from where we live. Creed, are you staying short term? No, I've been here for 15 years. I've been living here for 15 years. Last month was the 15-year anniversary, I guess. So if you have a look at my page, you'll see a couple of videos about that and about my experience living here. Yeah, long time. I know. And it's gone very quickly. Very quickly. As life is going very quickly. I just celebrated my 50th birthday last year, and my life is flashing before my eyes.
Thank
It's
you.
good, Em. It's good. Happy Valentine. That was Friday, so 2 days ago. So I did that, yeah, with my wife. We went out for dinner. Oh, okay, that's a good question, Creed. Currently, I have a, what do we call it? Temporary resident card.
It's a blue one.
Yeah, it's a blue card, and it's through my wife's work, and because I'm a spouse, I'm eligible for that as well, and it is based on the length of contract at your workplace, and then gets renewed. It's renewed every time your contract gets renewed, which is a fairly easy process at her workplace anyway. They do a good job of that.
And it's all legal.
Yeah, it's all up front. Before that, when I first came to live here, it was the same situation. I had it's temporary resident card through my workplace. And then once I finished at my workplace, I registered my own company here, my own business here. So that came with, at that time, it came with a residence card as well. So it's only just been recently that I've moved over onto my spousal visa with my wife. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Creed. Appreciate it. Hopefully I can make some more videos for you that you'll find interesting and informative.
Ask him what topics he wants.
And let me know what topics you might be interested in me doing for videos. I'm always looking for video ideas. Swazo, how is it at Vietnam? In relation to what? The chips are not bad. And the boats are long. I don't know what this one is. This one's actually got like a roof on it, doesn't it? Or is it a tarp?
Yeah.
Sometimes they're big sand boats. There used to be a lot of sand mining going on. But look at the length of that.
Wow. That's what I said.
I'll let you watch that. I'll just finish these chips.
The view is good. This is the view upstairs.
Up there.
Yeah. Just be careful. Here, see?
Yeah, that boat is long, Swazo. There's another one coming as well.
You can stay here all day.
I know. Creed, do you feel comfortable to communicate with people in Vietnam? Well, initially it was challenging all those years ago. the thing was, I had this thing in my head that I wanted to do everything local. So my first year, I lived in the Chinatown area of Saigon, and I'd come from Australia at that point. So I probably chose one of the hardest places to live in my first year.
Because there's two languages there.
It was very intense. These days I'd be able to live there no problem, and actually I wouldn't mind moving back there. It's just that my wife works a little bit far from that area. My point being, at the beginning, all those years ago, it was challenging. It was very challenging. I mean, there was the language barrier, but also the cultural, I don't know if you'd call them barriers, but differences as well. Australian culture and Vietnamese culture is quite different, as you can imagine. But these days, my Vietnamese is getting better, and obviously I'm more familiar with the culture. So it helps to be able to kind of predict what's going to happen. I think a big part of when I first came here to live was that I wasn't able to anticipate anything. I didn't know what was coming, and so that was very challenging. And also in terms of work culture as well. It's a very different, there's a very different work ethic, especially back then, 15 years ago. That was very challenging. Also relationships as well. I won't talk too much about that, but relationships are challenging, whether it's a romantic one or just with friends, making friends and stuff like that. But these days I think I kind of live in a bubble now, so I might actually find it more challenging if I went back to Australia to live permanently.
There's a question from Swazo. It's a good follow-up.
Swazo follows up with, what people have you communicated with in Vietnam? Everyone. Probably the most interesting ones are people who live in the Mekong Delta. The times when I take a motorbike trip and go way down into the Delta, there's a large Khmer community or population that still live in the Delta, and they have close connections to the Cambodian people. And they're very interesting. They're very interesting to talk to. They're country people, farmers, and for all intents and purposes, follow a Khmer way of lifestyle. And the architecture down there, the temples down there are very similar to what you'll see in Cambodia. So I find that interesting. Market people. When I get on the motorbike and do trips, I'll go to the market. So they're always up for a chat, and they're always interested in, this foreign guy, what's he doing here kind of thing. Matt is trendy with the market ladies. Yeah.
I like your hips.
Oh yeah, thanks, Swazo. Yeah. It's helmet. It's been in this. This is my secret. See? So, there you go.
Why don't you wear it?
No! Mel wants me to wear it. I'm not going to wear it. Oh, that boat's gone already.
Oh.
Up there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Just be careful.
Creed, I have a small marketing business here. So sometimes I do, content for hotels, resorts, bars, restaurants and that sort of thing, even though after COVID that kind of dropped off a bit. I'm also trying to grow this channel as well. And so also in a bit of a transition at the moment, trying to decide what I'm going to do in the next decade. Because I live here and have a lot of knowledge, yes, working remotely, at home, in my house, that's where I'm working. But yeah, I'm kind of playing with the idea of some kind of business in travel that's connected to Australia and Vietnam, because if I ever do leave Vietnam, I don't want to just, walk away from it. I want to do something related to Vietnam and, for the rest of my days. I've spent a lot of time here and all that sort of stuff and have a lot of friends here, so that's the plan. Vu, will we be seeing more of you cooking? I don't know. Have I done cooking videos?
Yeah, the banh sale at the market.
Ah,
The banh khôn.
I did do a video where I was cooking. Oh yeah, you've just answered. Bun good? Yeah. I didn't think anyone liked that video, to be honest. So I kind of put that on the back burner, so to speak. It was fun though.
Maybe we can do a live with you cooking.
Yeah, maybe I can do a live one day when I'm cooking. Yeah, I'm not a very good cook, to be honest. How did you get remote job? Well, initially I came over as a teacher with an Australian university here. So I actually got employed in Australia to come over and work here. And I worked for them for 5 years. So that was how I kind of wound up here. I'd been here for... I backpacked here around 1999. I was a backpacker here, so I'd been to Vietnam before. And back in 2009, I was looking to live overseas again, and I found the job online. So that's what sort of kicked it all off. Vu, I loved it. Oh, you loved it. You loved that video. Oh, okay. All right. Well, sometimes you create videos and if it doesn't do that well, you're never too sure as to whether anyone liked it or not. But thanks for that. Good to know.
He's coming in April. Your birthday.
Oh, you're coming in April. Where do you live? Where are you coming from? I'm eating chips, by the way, from my burger. I had a burger. Vu, if you were online before, you would have seen me with the burger. Oh, bun can gua. Bun can... Yeah. That might be a bit tricky.
We'll show you eating it instead.
Hey?
We'll show you eating it instead.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to show you eating it because it's a good dish, isn't it? Bun can gua. I really like that, but it is a bit messy with all that. I'm coming from Sydney. Oh, okay, so you're Aussie. That's good. Cool. So, yeah, I'll get to you in a second, Creed. Vu, yeah. So, what are your plans when you come to Vietnam? Let us know.
April is your birthday.
Yeah, April's my birthday. Actually, bring me some lollies, some Aussie lollies. That'd be good. I've got a licorice thing happening at the moment. Creed, would 2,000 be enough to live there per month? Yes, depending on your lifestyle. If you're living here by yourself, I'm not too sure. Yeah, you could probably do it as a couple. Depends on your lifestyle. But you can find places for rent for like, I don't know, $300 a month, 300 US a month or something like that. As soon as you start eating Western food, that's when your bills start to go up and when you start going out and stuff like that. But if you get yourself into the habit of going to local markets, cook at home a little bit, yeah, just if you keep things very local, 2,000 US dollars a month will do, especially a single person. But having said that, when you're here, you want to travel. You know, so traveling will start to obviously chip away at that. Minimum 2K, 5K are easy. 5K, you won't be able to spend 5K unless you travel. Voo, what lollies you want? Yes, you know the licorice all sorts and the licorice bullets. I've got a thing for those at the moment. Yes, oi, 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 that's right, Suzo. Yep. We got any? No, the boats have stopped. I think it's lunchtime.
Wow, View has a huge itinerary.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. Oh, okay, Vu. Saigon, Mune, Phu Quoc, Da Nang, Hoi An, then maybe Hanoi. Okay, nice. How long are you there for? How long's your trip? Because you've got a few places you're going to, and it looks like you're going to spend a fair bit of time in the airports, which is not great. Not ideal, is it? Oh, 2 months. Okay, good. Yeah, that's a good time frame. That's nice. Oh, very good. The weather should be pretty good. April's good, building up to the rainy season, and it'll be nice and hot for the beach for sure. And Hanoi should be pretty okay, I think. I don't get up to Hanoi that much. I should, but yeah, you'll have a good time. Phu Quoc, Da Nang, Hoi An, then maybe Hanoi. If you haven't booked yet, maybe you could consider Condau Island. Might be an option, depending what you're into. I mean, Condau is an interesting island for people who are into history. The old French and American prisons are there. And depending on the time of year, it can be quiet as well, whereas Phu Quoc can be quite busy. The only thing is with Condau, I wasn't very impressed with the food. It's really sort of the same sort of stuff as Vung Tau, but limited. Creed asks, would more money be spent if living? Not too sure what you mean, but I would imagine that if you're on holidays, you'd spend more, you know, because you're wanting to try stuff out and go to restaurants and bars and do trips and stuff like that. So at least if you're living here, you could make a budget. A bit easier to stay on a budget, isn't it? You know? Not sure how life could be different between travelling and living. Yeah, well, that's a good point. I think when you first come and live in a foreign country, it kind of all feels like a bit of a trip and not necessarily real. But I think once you get into a work rhythm, yeah, it can feel a lot like being at home still. So in that sense, sometimes you get to a point where you've got to push yourself to get out, meet people, experience the culture and stuff like that, because it is fairly easy to slip into your old ways. Oh, okay, Vu, you'll be staying in District 4. Well, District 4 is just over there. The building bends around, so I can't really show you. And District 4 is great. I love District 4. Yeah, it's awesome. If we happen to catch up, I'll show you a few. If you're not that familiar with District 4, I can show you in and around some places that you might know, and there's some great food there, of course. Lots of great food there. And lots of great people. It's a really interesting district. Eating and catching up with the lady who cooked for me delicious bunkangu. Oh, okay, good. Well, maybe you can introduce me to that. Because I actually don't eat a lot of that. I like it, but I just, for whatever reason, I don't really eat a lot of it. So that'd be good. You're welcome, Creed. No worries. Hopefully, I've given you some good info.
Swazi says bye. Swazi says bye.
Oh, okay. Okay, Swazo, thank you. Thanks for joining. Hopefully see you next week. Arvu, she's in District 1. Okay. Do you know which street? Or you don't want to reveal? I know how that feels. Don't worry if you don't want to reveal it. Which temple? There's quite a few. Boats have stopped. They must be having lunch. I can't remember the street name. Okay, no worries. All right, maybe we can hit that up. You know, you can hit me up here on YouTube. Let me know closer to the date, and if you want, maybe we can go and check that out. No worries, Creed. Hopefully see you online next Sunday, around about the same time.
Oh, speedboat.
I'm just going to wait for Vu to check the address where the noodle place is. Okay, cool. Thanks, Creed. Hopefully you find plenty of interesting stuff there. Okay, Vu, if you want, leave the address to the noodle joint in the comments, and I might go and check it out. Or at least when you come to Saigon, we'll go and check it out together. All right, well, I'm finished my chips. Thanks everyone for watching. Check out my latest video, which I think you guys will find interesting. And don't forget, next Sunday, around about the same time, around about 11 o'clock, I'll try and find a new location that's interesting for you to check out. Okay, bye guys.